Furries 101, okay? And again, okay, I should have prefaced this earlier in the class, but you know, Furries 101 is the introductory furry class. You can kind of consider my lecture this semester to be like a general ed, your introduction to Ligma University. Come talk to me, and I can point you to other professors that specialize. I know some of you, you're looking to become professors yourself, or streamers, or YouTubers, or your Roblox developers, or TikTok, you know. You know, before it used to be like firefighter and doctor and lawyer, but you know, society's way better off having people want to be the other stuff. How can you talk about furries without talking about fursonas? What is a fursona? Via Wikipedia, a fursona is a personalized animal character created by someone in the furry fandom. The vast majority of furries have fursonas. They may be anthropomorphic personas, idealized versions of their owners, fleshed out roleplay characters, or simply digital mascots. Most see their fursonas as characters they created, but a minority believe they are the same species as their fursona. Individuals create one or more fursonas, which are acted out primarily online. Primarily, that's key there. But also at furry conventions and in other public spaces. A general diagram of a fursona, of a fursuit, the heads always look big because, you know, it goes over your real head, and it's hard to make it like look right because it would have to be smaller. But if it was that small, you would be unable to put it on. This is me, or whoever, and this is the fursuit, which is a vehicle for the fursona. The Vitruvian furry. Yes, the Vitruvian furry. Me inside of this. Usually two parts. The head and the body, usually separate. Usually. And there's usually like a zipper on the back. That's how you usually get in. I don't know though. If you add a weapon to the fursuit, does that make you a mech pilot? See, this is what I'm talking about. The mech furries? That's genius. See me after class. Okay, this is the fun part. I love this first day. This is my favorite day of teaching Furries 101. We're going to get a little interactive here, and we are going to craft a fursona, my fursona, on stream, live here, collaboratively. But before we craft a fursona, you know, we got to cover our bases. I can't expect you guys to be versed. So, what kinds of furries are there? What are the fursonas? So, the most common type, I would say, is, it's kind of confusing, but I call it just furry. It's the furry furries. Could you say mammals? And what do we have there? What do we have there? I'll just use the example from before. You might be asking, Professor Lando, why can you draw Lola Bunny so quickly? It just comes naturally. I don't know. So like an example would be Lola. Lola Bunny would be an example of probably the most common. I would probably say, like, we can just do this. Most common. Because you know what? When you think of furries and when you see pictures of furries, most of them are mammalian. Most of them are the furry kind. Wolves, dogs. That's pretty much it, really. Next on, the reptilian furry. Example would be, okay, he's the bug catching guy that you talk to in Animal Crossing. You would think it's disgusting. Reptiles? Ugh. That's what makes it exciting. Anyways, 3. I don't know if there's more than what I'm about to cover. We got the birds. We got the avians. My example is that dude from Breath of the Wild. What's his name? I'm not as versed in the birds as I am reptiles, and especially the furries. Now, you know, I'm hesitant to even include this one in amongst like the main pillars. They're pillars, really. But I'm going to do it anyways. This is where we might lose some people. The insects. Are the Ninja Turtles also scalies? Why don't you ask April? But she'd know. God damn. All right. But the insects. This one's interesting. My example is Mantis from Kung Fu Panda would be my example. There are probably better examples. The dudes from Terraformers, maybe. Not particularly fond of this myself. Yes, voiced by Seth Rogen. So maybe that itself is explanatory in itself. We couldn't possibly cover the entire, like, you know what this thing is? You know, it would go on and on and on. I don't even have enough whiteboard for all of the brand. If we covered every little niche type of furry. But some honorable mention, I guess, is like, you know, I'm not sure what did the fish count as? Some of them could fit here, you know, like I'm just kind of making, this one's just from my mind, you know, like what is that? The main thing we're kind of trying to do here is being able to craft a fursona. But let me go into a little more of my personal experience, because I'm a teacher, I'm an educator, I'm a Leo. I'm also a person. I have my own life experiences as a person, and it's fluid. You try to track, you try to plan everything out, and it gets all fucked up. Life gets all fucked up, and you think it's gonna go this one way, and it doesn't. But that's life. That's just how it goes, you know. And I reflect that. I want to show you guys that I reflect that by sharing one of my life experiences related to this. If you're familiar with the Elder Scrolls series, I have a story about this. In the game Elder Scrolls Oblivion, it's very immersive. It's a very immersive experience. You can go, you can kill things, you can steal, you can immerse yourself in the world. And part of that immersion is like, in the game there are books, actual books that you can read in game. And one of these books is a book titled The Lusty Argonian Maid. So let me just read you, I'm just gonna read you a excerpt. Volume 1, Act 4, Scene 3, continued, of The Lusty Argonian Maid. Okay. The character, this is my personal depiction of the Lusty Argonian Maid. And in the book is lifts her tail. Okay. That's the Lusty Argonian Maid's name, is lifts her tail. It's kind of weird, but just okay. Lifts her tail. Certainly not, kind sir. I am here but to clean your chambers. Crantius Colto. I don't know if that's exactly correct. Colto is the other character, which is also the author. Self-insertion, fanfic, kind of weird. Colto. Is that all you came here for, little one? My chambers? Lifts her tail. I have no idea what it is you imply, master. I am but a poor Argonian maid. Colto says, so you are, my dumpling, and a good one at that. Such strong legs and shapely tail. Strong legs and shapely tail. Lifts her tail, says, you embarrass me, sir. Colto, fear not. You are safe here with me. Lifts her tail. I must finish my cleaning, sir. The mistress will have my head if I do not. Cleaning, eh? I have something for you. Here, polish my spear. For reference. Lifts her tail. But it is huge! It could take me all night! Colto. Plenty of time, my sweet. Plenty of time. End of Act 4, Scene 3. You know, why did I share that with you? It's just an example. You know, some people might not understand what a furry awakening is. In fact, some of you this might be it. That might have been it right there. Everyone has their awakenings. Maybe multiple awakenings that lead to a culmination. Because again, it's like, you can read the books, you can sit and listen to the lecture. You can listen to the lecture, read the books, but until you actually like do, you don't really retain it. So that's why we're gonna like partake in here. So I'm going to let myself be a little vulnerable here. And why don't we work together and craft my fursona? This is Professor Lando. Keep in mind everything we talked about. The types of the furries, right? Mammalian, reptilian, and the others, avian, the fishies, the insects, okay? Baseline question, where you want to start is like, okay, I want to craft my fursona. What animal am I? What fur creature, what type of animal am I? Baseline. And to answer that, there's like two elements. And it kind of relates to life, really, because the two things are like what you want versus what you are. what is and what you wish is. You know, you ask yourself, what animal am I? Well, there's one, it's like, what animal would you be most like? There's also a question of like, what animal would you like to be? There's a spiritual aspect because you can be similar to an animal in physicality, but you can also be similar to an animal spiritually. There's like an essence. Students, I need to ask you, like, look at me. What animal is Professor Lando? Spiritually and physically. We have a whole mix here. Very interesting. The gecko is interesting, but I can't not think of the Geico gecko. You always see the same kind of fursona. It's the wolf. It's the dog wolf thing. Let's experiment. When's the last time you saw the worm fursona or the deep sea fish fursona? Let's do some elimination. Chat. Let's come to agreement. Not armadillo, not gecko, not snow, not mat. Let's just pick between these. Owl or rhino. Let's see it in chat. By a sliver! By a sliver, the rhino gang rises up. This is generally a rhino. My glasses. And you want to be able to seep in parts of your actual self. Okay? I have very furry brows. I have very thick brows. So you want to be able to have some of your true self shine through your fursona. You know, like, I'm not a rhino. Arcade says, can the horn be big? Yes. Okay. All right. Sure. Sure. Can the horn be big? Yeah, it can be big. It can be whatever you want. It can be whatever you want. I'll be honest. I don't have the best posture. You know, I'm kind of like a Quasimodo-esque. I see why you said rhino, because I'm big, but not in like an intimidating way, not in like a strong way, like in a Quasimodo Hunchback of Notre Dame way. I'm big I'm big as in like, kind of like, you know, kind of like, huh? Oh, wait, you're right. See, this is where the participation comes in. Landon got the dumpy though. Landon got the dumpy though. We did it! Wow. To think from the beginning of class to now. You've come such a long way. We went from not even knowing what a furry is to look at us. Who would have thought? Not me. That's it. We did it. We did it, guys. That was the first class. You got through your first class of Ligma U. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're on YouTube, we do lectures live over on Twitch. Link for that will be down below. Come join us live. You'll be able to incorporate your feedback and interact with the rest of the students here on lessons. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell and like the video.